Welcome to Bacon, No Bacon. Should we? I was waiting for you to. I thought you were going to follow me into that.
I was gonna come in. The podcast that begs the question. And then you come in for the question part.
Should we take that again? Should we try?
Yeah, okay, let's do it again. Do it again.
All right.
Bacon, no bacon, no bacon, no bacon,
Bacon, no bacon.
Podcast.
Welcome to Bacon, No Bacon.
The podcast with Abdul Butt and Derek Seguin.
On Comedy Here Often.
The network with Abdul Butt and Derek Seguin. And many other people. Many people.
Hey, man, we try to make this as professional as possible.
Yeah.
What are you going to do?
I got the voice down, just didn't have the information. But right out of the gate, speaking of Comedy Here Often, they did a podcast festival last week.
Yes.
Or 2 weeks ago, 10 days ago.
Stop going viral.
Stop going viral, right. And so we were promoting it. It was April 26, 27, 28, and they were asking us, put the word out, and they were raising money to go to
China.
PAHO, to the
Take everybody
organization
Mexico.
that is helping with COVID relief and all that kind of thing. But there was posters and everything. The posters they were having us share on social media and that?
Right, yeah.
Fuck, I had like 5 people writing to me like, oh my God, you're opening for Nikki Glaser. I love her. I'm like, what are you opening? First of all, it's a podcast festival. And how is that a mark of my success that I'm opening for Nikki Glaser? I mean, I love Nikki too, but I wouldn't say that's like... I'm not throwing out the first...
disappointed to open for anyone. I'm happy to...
I guess I wouldn't be
on a team of great, funny people. Doesn't mean that you're not funny. Just because you're opening for Nikki Glaser.
I wouldn't take it as
She's a very funny comedian.
Yes, but why would I be opening for anybody?
Well, why not? You can open for bigger name. What do you think? You're bigger than Nikki Glaser?
In Canada, I thought I was. I did, really. And honestly, I would think in Canada I am bigger. I would hope.
I don't know. I'm just busting your balls.
It was. I just found it
taking
odd
a little chunk away. I'm chipping away your ego as we go along.
People often write to me though. People write stupid shit to me today, like in general. So I thought that was just a weird thing. Like, how did you get that from that poster? You saw my face and Nikki Glaser.
Nobody reads anything anymore, Derek. Don't you know this?
Yeah.
Nobody reads. What are we reading for? There's so many things that are on the internet popping at you. You're scrolling and popping at your face.
My friend came at me yesterday.
Okay, came at you.
No, it's today actually on this
Fist
thread.
up?
So you know my friend Chad.
Yeah, Chad threatened.
So it's that group of friend though. Like we're a whole bunch of like one guy live in San Francisco. He worked for Facebook. The WhatsApp guy. He's actually the vice president of WhatsApp. Sean, what's up, Sean?
He's not watching. He's not watching.
No. We have a bunch of friends that live in Philadelphia area. Anyway, so it's a bunch of like childhood, my high school friend that were all over the place. And anyway, they were talking about COVID and vaccination and all that. And I'm like, I don't know if you guys saw it, but I just read 2 reports because there was one that came out of Montreal.
Okay.
So I was trying to see it corroborate before I start talking about shit. I like to corroborate it. And then it's a known thing. In Europe too, they saw there's a definite correlation between patients that are getting admit to the ICU. Let me get this closer to my mouth. The ICU and dying and getting very, very sick and a vitamin D deficiency.
Okay.
So it's kind of a known thing right now in the scientific community, in the medical world. So I was just sharing that. I'm like, hey, guys, just a heads up. I don't know if you heard, but there's been a scientific correlation between getting very sick when you get COVID. If you're low on vitamin D, apparently there's a correlation between getting very sick and they started responding to me like fucking. I was talking about the Earth was flat or some shit. He's like, pretty sure you get lots of sun on your balcony or in your backyard. Because I was like, because I was saying it's funny how we find this out through medical journal or a news report about the vitamin D, but fucking François Legault and Justin Trudeau don't share this with everybody. They're just like, stay home, stay home, stay home, and then we find out that staying home is no good. And then he's like, pretty sure you can get lots of sun on your balcony or your backyard in the lockdown. And the lockdown was in the evening, not in the day. And I'm like, what the fuck? What are you coming at me for? I'm just telling you to have a vitamin D pill, you fuckface. And then he's like, then the next thing, and then
Some
on a
people don't
different
like
note,
to be told what vitamins to take.
on a more serious note, any of
Tell me
you
what-
that are vaccinated have concerns about who will get control of you after Bill and Melinda get divorced? Really, motherfucker? You're gonna poo-poo my vitamin D
That's
advice and bring
That's
up the
funny.
fucking mind control? And he's like, how much vitamin? Now he's still going at it. I answered before. He's how much vitamin D was flying around in the winter. Quick on this stat, showed 75% or so of people in ICU from COVID are vitamin D deficient. 75% of how many people? The 200 people study. Why is he? What the fuck is his problem? You know what? I feel like saying, you know what, Sean? Fucking no vitamin D for you, you piece of shit.
Sean is who? What is Sean? How is
He's
Sean in this?
the president of WhatsApp.
Oh,
Vice president.
he's telling
Vice president of WhatsApp. He worked for Facebook.
I think it's just hilarious because he's just picking on you. Maybe because you're, I don't know. Maybe because you were the spokesperson.
I don't know either. I can't figure it out. Also, maybe more sunshine and vitamin tablet, but you smoke
Yeah, that's funny.
and get the COVID that attacks the lungs. Not sure bananas are going to be the game changer. Oh, because also in that same study, it was vitamin D and potassium. So I mentioned that
That's
to him. I
why
was
he's
just
making fun of you.
trying to help. Fucking, but it's coming out of the scientific community that
Where did you read
people
that?
that are getting
What journal
sick.
did that come from?
I saw it on in the Gazette first, and then so I looked it up, and it was one of the medical things like fucking Mount Sinai medical or
They said
one of
more
those.
potassium. Eat a
No,
banana.
they didn't necessarily even say in the things. They didn't even say eat more potassium or get more vitamin D.
Oh, they're
I
just
guess
saying
they must
there's
have.
a
They must have.
correlation.
There's a correlation
noticing
that they're
not enough
studying
potassium.
further. They're gonna look further at it. Like I guess punch a fucking focus group full of vitamin D and bananas, and then try to give them COVID and see how it goes. I don't know. But I don't know. I found it odd that he was coming at me. I don't know if I've done something. Maybe he does watch this podcast. Did I talk shit about Sean in another podcast?
I
Maybe
don't
that's
know. It's
why
very
he's fucking
possible. It's very possible.
coming at me.
You could be upsetting people with your
the
vitamin
Skype-
intake
Does the
recommendations.
Skype logo show up on our podcast now? We switched
does.
from
The
we
Skype
used to
logo
do it on
does show
WhatsApp.
up.
When we used to do it on WhatsApp, and now we're doing it on Skype. Maybe that's why he's got a fucking
I don't know.
dick up his
Maybe
ass.
maybe we should get him on the podcast and see if he wants to tell us. Get him
We're
on the
in
phone.
good competition. We're both rocking major COVID beards. He's got a mega beard now too.
It's I don't know. I guess people don't like to be told what to. Dude, people are just all over the place. I walked into a store the other day, and I have a habit of bringing my own sanitizer
Purell?
because I don't like using this random who knows what is in this jug at every store that you go to. So when
Right.
I walk in, I a little squeeze. Right there, you go. I'm doing the motion. Can you see
Yeah.
this? I'm putting it on. And the guy stops me and goes, "Sir, you got to use our sanitizer." I was like, "What? What
No
do you
way.
mean?" Yeah, he goes, "You got to use our sanitizer." I'm like, "Do you want to read my bottle of sanitizer? Like, are you worried it's not real?" And he goes, "No, if you want to come in this store, you got to use our sanitizer."
See, that's one of
I was
those
like,
fucking
are you
things.
kidding
I
me?
would lose it. I would fucking lose it.
I've been like taking deep breaths with a lot of this shit.
Fuck.
I went to the I did go to the hunting and fishing store, and they had and this is another instance where people again are flexing their COVID muscle. So they got the rope off, like, they cordon off an area where the shoes are. You got to enter in only one way,
Right.
and then exit the other way. So I was to the right of the entrance, which you have to move left to get to the exit anyways.
Right.
And I was just walking by and I saw a pair of boots and I was like, "Oh, those are nice." So rather than walking, there's nobody there, right? Rather than have to walk, I just like skipped under the little rope and I'm checking out these boots. I'm like, "These are fucking nice. All right, cool." The guy comes over, he goes, "Monsieur, la prochaine fois, peux-tu utiliser l'entrée, s'il vous plaît?" I was like, "What?" And he was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Can you, s'il vous plaît, l'entrée?" And I'm like, I just took a deep breath and I fucking walked away. And I was like, I don't want any fucking boots. I'm out of here. And then I walked up to the bullets.
Yeah.
I did.
Do you
I
have
walked
these
up to
in
the bullets.
automatic? Do you have these in fucking idiot piercing?
I walked up to the bullets, and I did buy a box of shotgun shells. And I walked by. No, I did. I wanted to walk by and just hold it up. As I walk by, like.
Yeah, you walk by the guy with the box of bullets and be like, je reviens pour ma prochaine fois. Faut juste que j'aille à mon camion 2 secondes avec ça. Faut que j'aille à mon camion avec ça. Puis dans 2 minutes, je vais te montrer ma prochaine fois.
Je vais l'entrer par la bonne place la prochaine fois. Ouais. Tu vas
Puis je vais vous montrer la bonne direction pour rentrer ça dans un fucking... clic, clic.
Oh, man, dude, just...
Là, laisse-moi te montrer la sortie, esti.
Well,
listen,
the
going under the rope thing, I could probably deal with, because in doing that, you knew you were wrong. But somebody telling me to use their fucking hand sanitizer when I have hand sanitizer, dude, that's one of those things that...
It's just too many rules here.
I would fucking lose it right on the spot. I would fucking be knocking over the hand sanitizer station. Let's see, that's like the in and the outdoor thing that happened. I played golf today. That happened to me at golf today. So they have a whole fucking cord in the pro shop that you have to walk. Like there's ever going to be 100 people, so you have to walk the little labyrinth to get to the thing, and then there's a different door to go out. And I just went back. My buddy was at the back of the thing coming in, so I went to walk toward him. There was a man, not even an employee, just a man. Said, hey, faut sortir par là. And I'm like, really?
Yeah, it's getting a little bit too much with the. I get like, okay, there's a ton of people. Look, dude, I was walking by, and I'm like, I like to float around a store. I'm not like, what are we in a regime? I've got to follow. I get the arrows. I follow the arrows. I'm not going to argue with the arrows.
Should have thought about needing boots 5 minutes ago when you were in the boot buying section. Now it's too late.
Yeah, it's too late. Go out. You got to leave the store if you want to come back and get boots. You can't. It's just too much. It's too much with the like nitpicking. I think we're at the nitpicking phase now. It's like, I get it. I've got the mask. I'm sanitizing. I'm keeping my distance. How much more do you want? What else do you want? What do you want from me, man?
Yeah,
I don't get it.
I think I found a trick for the grocery store. I feel like I've bucked the system or something like that. But like, what if you go to the grocery store?
Yeah.
And then the little arrow things assume that you need to go down every single aisle.
Right. And exactly. Sometimes you got to double back. You got to go.
So here's what I do when I know there's like
reverse.
I'm an expert. I only go to one grocery store, so I know this place by heart. Yeah. So I come in, and the first one that goes this way is where they have bread and all that kind of thing. And I'm like, I need a loaf of bread. I mean, so what I do is I park my fucking cart and just kind of shimmy down, grab the loaf of bread. Like, if you're down without a cart, people don't fucking call you on your shit as much. Yeah. Like, once you just got to get to the bread fast, and then, because you have no cart with you, because if the cart's pointing in this direction, they know that you've come in from what direction. But if you're on foot, if you're a pedestrian and you're standing in front of the bread,
he's just
and
lost.
Somebody comes in,
Maybe
I'm
lost.
like, you don't know if I came from there or if I came from there.
You just turn your body around. I was just looking at something on this side.
There's like 3 places in the grocery store that I do that, because I'm like, basically, if it's a road that I know I'm only going to need an amount of things that I can carry in my arms comfortably, I'm parking it at the end cap and just fucking sneaking in. I need 1 can of beans. I don't need to go down the whole canned goods fucking aisle. I just need 1 can of beans. I'm just going to shimmy out of here. And then if I'm in that aisle and I see something, I needed taco shells too, but it's way at the other end. And I'm like, fuck it, I'll get it when I loop around. I'll shimmy back in when I fucking loop around.
You got to loop around, shimmy in. It's always
crazy.
It's a whole process now. But it is getting easier, I guess. You're learning.
We're becoming like military strategists.
That's what's annoying. That's exactly it. It's the like we're in some sort of a regime of organization. You must march in one direction. You forgot the oatmeal, you are screwed. Return another day. It's a very strange situation. That's but yeah, you did make what?
You could see that everybody's kind of getting over it too. Like for a full year at least. Like you get to the cash,
Yeah.
And the Air Miles card, you would have to show it to them because there was no passing it over and touching your Air Miles card. You show it to them and then they piton it manually.
Right.
But for the last month or so, every it's not just one cashier too that's fed up. It's all of them. I show up, carte Air Miles, oui, and I go to hold it up, and they're just like fucking zook, pull it out of my hand. Beep. There you go. Nobody got time for that. Nobody got time to be fucking pitoning things.
Yeah, I think they. I think there's more science behind it now. So I think we're kind of. I think it. I don't know how much it travels from packaging
surfaces.
Surfaces. I think it's
exactly like so. Again, at the golf course today. First of all, they make you even outside. There's certain areas outside until you get on the first tee box. You're supposed to wear your mask.
Okay.
Which, again, I hate all those things, but it's to the point now where if somebody's taking the time to say it, it must make them feel comfortable. So I'll do it. But there's no ball washers. I've played 4 golf games this year at 4 different places, and there's no ball washer. Because again, I guess the idea when they took them down last year is that you have to touch it.
Yeah.
But so now I'm just walking around playing with dirty balls. No wonder my scores are shit.
Can you not wash your balls at your house?
Yeah, but they fucking get dirty when you're playing with them.
Wash them in the shower like a human.
Fucking, you play with your balls for fucking 5 hours and see if they're still fucking not needing. I
don't know.
Wash.
I didn't know that. That's a good point. I didn't know that. That's what I thought the ball washing was just at the starting of your match.
No,
that's how golf should be.
At the start of your match, your balls should be clean. They should be brand new.
So you use a brand new ball.
Gone in the dirt and in the mud. That's when they get dirty.
Do you use a brand new ball every?
Not every time, but I like to start with a fresh little sleeve.
A fresh ball at the golf course. I've never played golf other than mini putt. I'm not a golfer, but I could.
It's the most. My personality. It's how I got involved with this sport.
Yeah,
it's the most frustrating fucking game, dude. I've been playing like for the last 8 or 9 years. I've been really, really playing a lot. Like the guys I'd golf with would always say, like, I'd get frustrated, and they're like, "Well, Derek, what do you expect? You play like 6 or 7 times a year. You can't expect to get better." For the last 8 year or so, I've been playing like 20, 30, 40 times a year. I even go to Florida twice in the summer, in the
just
winter
to practice,
to make sure. Just to stay to play a little bit of golf and fucking get into it. Like, it's my activity. It's my little old man activity. You're such a diva.
You're like
and I've been stuck. I'm
hilarious.
stuck at like a 94 to 96 area for the last fucking 15 years. I haven't gotten any better. Other than one miracle game from time to time. But like so far this season, I played 4 times. I shot 94 the first game. And I'm like, not bad for a first round. And then I played 3 days later. Fucking 95. I'm like, Chris, I should still be warmed up from the fucking last game. And then I played on Monday with Dougie and Dave, Doug Muncie, and fucking shot a 99. And I saved the 99 with a really good putt. Otherwise, I was going to be at 100. Today, I played with my buddy Sean, 101. How am I getting worse as I practice? I was so fucking
Are you
mad.
Drinking more?
No. I mean, I started drinking after my triple bogey. I went to the fucking Caskrut and got a couple of beers. But like the game, here's the thing: the game started out really well. I parred the first hole today. Par is great, and then I double bogeyed the second one. But I'm like, all right, that was I fucking really did a shit tee shot, so I had to kind of just chip it out of the forest, whatever. And anyway, whatever. But then I parred the third one. I'm like, fuck, I've parred 2 out of the first 3 holes. Let's see, I'm fucking Tiger Wood. Let's go. And then everything went to shit.
Well, I don't know what to say, man. I think, and did you, are they handing out vaccines on the golf course? Are they doing that? That should be a thing.
Yeah, no, there was a place that I was thinking would be a good place to hand out vaccines, though. What was it?
Francois Legault's mansion. So are you you're not getting it? You're in the age. You're in the group. You're.
Yeah, I haven't done it yet.
No, you haven't done it. You're gonna stay away.
I don't feel like I'm in a rush. No, I'm not against it for sure.
No, I get it. I'm also not against it, but I might not just hop and go as soon as it's. I might sit on the sidelines. I might take a look and see what happens.
Yeah. I'm wondering now how I should conseil my kid is where I'm at now, because next week it opens up for 18 to 25 or whatever.
Well, and I don't know. It's a tough question. But I know that you'll be allowed to do more if you get it, I'm sure. I think that's going to be a big thing. I think they'll let you...
Front page of the Gazette this morning.
Yeah.
There was an article about justement that. It started out talking about how the youth, that the Pfizer now is the Pfizer one is officially approved for 12 and up in Canada. So they're talking about that's it. They're talking about doing vaccines at the schools. Like they do with all the other vaccines. Nowadays they do, like Andy gets all her vaccines. She got an HPV vaccine at school. Let's see.
Wow. Well, they did it. They've done it when I was in school. They used to do that. They would do vaccines.
Yeah,
we've got vaccines in school. I've got the booklet. That's why I don't understand why we're all panicking about the. I guess because this is a new thing and the vaccine was kind of developed quickly. But I mean, we've been getting vaccines and we have a vaccine passport forever. So I don't know why everyone's so like up in arms. Like we're gonna need a vaccine.
No one's ever
passport.
asked for your vaccine passport.
When you go to other countries, you got to show it. If you're in different countries.
Really?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, when you go to different
None of the
countries, you got to have.
I've ever been to.
Well, that's it. But some countries you go to, you have to have your shots. I mean, if otherwise, a lot of them you'll get sick. I mean, some like India and Pakistan for sure. Like my cousins go there, and every time, even like shots doesn't matter. They're like we're
What's
always.
What's the shot you get? Like malaria? You get a malaria shot to go to India?
I'm not really sure. I don't know. I know for sure. I think hepatitis. You got to have it. Like that's one of them for sure. You got to have the vaccine to go. I think. Because what's the other? Tuberculosis is a big one there. I don't know if there's a vaccine for that. Is there a vaccine?
Really?
Yeah,
I think there is.
Yeah, I think there are certain vaccines that you have to go to some countries. I don't know if it's their country or Canada requires you when you go there to have it. Yeah,
I know hepatitis B you can get from like food or water, so that one is probably a good one to get.
Yeah, and like hepatitis, I think we got those in school actually, if I'm not mistaken. I think I got the hepatitis C at least. I think I got it.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
If I'm not mistaken, yeah, we got those in school. Yeah, it was like a thing where if you wanted it, like you can get it. Your parents would sign off on it or something like that. But
well, so there's the other thing that I was reading so they're gonna they're. It looks like they're going to be offering the vaccines at the kids' schools, which now that I look and once I was reading that, I'm like, well, that should have been done out of the gate.
Right, yeah.
Because think about it. People, basically, people from your age to my age are the safer ones. Like we're at home, we have wives and kids and we're being careful. We're following the rule as much as we can.
Yeah.
It's the fucking 15 to 25 that are like, fuck this, I got a party and fuck chicks.
Yeah, exactly. They should have been vaccine first.
Like start with 100 years old and 15 years old and fucking work their way back to the middle.
Well, I think honestly they shouldn't have worked like the other way. They shouldn't have done it the oldest first because unless you were in like one of those long-term care centers, but if you're like elderly and at home, like living at home still, like in your 60s, 70s, you're still able to do stuff and you're at home. I don't see why you would. I mean, I guess, it's just a safety precaution, but you're not in the front lines. Like you can stay at home for a little bit longer. Let's get the people
it's because they're most likely to die is why they give it to them
but
first.
Everybody who had to go to work and continued transmitting this virus, it shouldn't be the people. Like if you were retired and at home, they should have been like, you're good, stay at home. Yeah. Wear a mask, clean your hands, stay at home, and let everyone else who's working get vaccinated so that it doesn't spread. Everyone who's out and doing stuff that has to do stuff, like imagine if they vaccinated all of us. Let's say all the comedians were vaccinated and audience members that were young that come out to shows were all vaccinated.
Yeah.
And then you'd be able to have something going on still, People that were going out in nightlife would still be happening. And they'd be vaccinated, and then the economy would be rolling in that sector, and restaurants would be open, and bars would be okay to have distancing still, but still be open. But yeah, we just went to the elderly who are just sitting at home anyways. We're like, vaccinate all of them with what limited supply we have, and then they just went back in their houses and just locked the door.
Delivered.
And nobody's stimulating the economy. Nobody's buying anything or like getting out there. The stores are all closed still, and like. The first thing was the young people who were working that should have been.
I think for containment that would have been for sure to contain the virus, the young, and to keep. So that's why I'm saying start with the old and the young at the same time.
Yeah,
the old people it'll save their life, and the young people it'll stop the spread. And then because literally, I think like 30 to 50 is probably, the second biggest demographic chunk,
Right.
and we're the least spreader. I would think we're the least spreader, except for people that still were going to busy offices, but that hasn't happened. So
yeah, I don't know now what's going on with, and it's pretty wild, dude. This whole Bill Gates getting divorced. You're a big fan of Bill.
Coming.
You're a big fan of Bill.
I just listened to a podcast.
Yeah.
With Bill, where he was singing the praises of Melinda so much and how their relationship is so perfect.
Dude, I don't know.
Compliment each other. And
it's kind of strange that like I mean, I'm sure this was probably in the works for a while, but he's been like getting pummeled for defending the vaccine, like the patents on the vaccine.
Yeah.
So like I think
that was also in the paper today. A big deal in Germany.
I think Melinda is the one I trust in this whole failed relationship. Oh, heart. Right at the heart. But yeah, I think Melinda would be the one I trust in this. I don't know about Billy. He seems a little bit. Seems like he's going for that bank. He's not. He doesn't have enough billions in the bank.
But when you say trust, what do you mean? What you?
I don't know. I feel like he's defending.
You think
patents.
They got divorced over the patent?
No,
debate?
I don't think they got divorced over the patent. But I'm just saying, if I had to pick a side, I haven't seen Melinda Gates defend the patent yet. So I'm going.
Have you heard Melinda Gates do anything? She's not really a limelight seeker.
Hey, I thought she was like doing a lot of stuff. I thought she was like, isn't it called the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation?
Yeah, but
it's a
he's certainly the face and voice.
Collaboration. I couldn't even say.
Yeah,
the word.
and he says that all the time. Like that's what I mean. This last podcast I heard him on, I think it was.
Well, I don't know.
I think it was Dax Prescott
Something.
actually. Dax Shepard. I mean.
I wonder if you're okay. Does he have some insight? Do you know Dax? Is your friend?
He's got
WhatsApp
a really
know?
good podcast. He's got a really good podcast. I'll give him that. Angela started listening to it, and I've listened to a few with her. He's got a really good podcast. He's really good at.
He's a good guy at producing his own things. He likes getting things going. Yeah, he makes movies.
I've learned that through listening to him on the podcast. He's a very accomplished writer, like Emmy nominated. They ribbed him about not winning, but he's an Emmy nominated writer.
Yeah.
He's an actor. He's this podcaster. He's a director.
I
like
he's a
that.
I like when people
and
produce
he's married
their
to
own.
Kristen Bell, who I think is just cute as a button.
Also very hard worker and produces stuff with them as well. Yeah, they're both very. They're a great couple, and they're not like in the limelight. Is that a word? Is that a thing? Do people say that? The limelight, the spotlight.
Yeah, they certainly don't seem to seek it like
the
a
attention.
fucking YouTuber or whatever.
Right.
You know, like they just work hard and the work speak for itself. Or something.
You only usually see them when they're promoting something or they have like they came out with something new, so they're trying to get it out there. But they're not like, oh, you caught them at some restaurant eating dinner, and then he threw his keys at the valet's face and was like, "Get my fucking car." He like none of that. They're very like kind of just doing their own thing. I don't even know if they live in Hollywood. I wonder where they live. I feel like they'd be like one of those people that live out in a farm, like in a range, and would just. I imagine that's their couple dynamic. I feel like they would live,
like
out
next
somewhere
door
with
to
horses.
Pink and next door to Pink and her husband.
Does Pink live on a farm?
Ranch? Yeah, they have a ranch with a fucking whole X Games fucking track set up out back and shit.
Oh, really? Wow. Interesting.
Her too, she seems cool. You know what? And like Ellen, we've talked about Ellen on the show before. Ellen seems to be getting a bad rap lately, that she's evil or whatever. But the people that she's
I like Ellen more now that I know that that now that people are saying she's been an asshole or been evil to them.
Yeah.
I like Ellen more, and I liked her before. But now I'm like, fuck, she sounds like a really... I want to see her yell at people. I want to see... That's the show I want to watch.
I like her too.
I
don't like her because she's evil. I like her despite the fact that her people are saying that, because she comes off as kind and genuine. But she has her favorite, right? Like on her show.
Yeah.
And generally speaking, those people are people that I gravitate to as well, that just seem real. Like you see them in an interview and like with a friend like Ellen, and they seem one way. And then you see them in an interview like in one of those, you know, like the those, I forget what they're called now. You know, when you go out to promote a movie and you're like junket, a press junket.
Oh, right.
You're going from person to person to person to person.
Right,
you know?
right.
where you can, you don't even know the person, so it's easy to come off as disingenuous or bitchy or whatever. And she tend to like the people. Basically, when Ellen gravitate towards somebody, it's somebody that I'm generally curious about. And Kristen Bell is one that she seemed to like. Jennifer Aniston, she like. Pink, they're really close.
You're like a housewife.
Excuse me.
You're like one of those old timey 90s.
Yeah. I'm gonna. It's only a matter of time before I start reading Us Weekly. Oh, Celine Dion have a new boyfriend, and the two.
I like the Guess Ellen picks. Man, we got to get back to comedy, buddy. What the hell is happening to our lives?
Yeah, man. Speaking of that, do you have any live shows booked right now?
Live shows? No, I'm doing a one with you in May. Not live, not in. You're saying in like person?
Yeah.
No, that's not happening.
What are we doing together in May? Is it a school?
Yeah, school fundraiser or something like that.
Merton School, yeah, the Merton School. Somebody wrote to me about that today from another show I think we did together. Oh, no, I did it with Mike Patterson, but it was a financial company.
Okay.
And she wrote to me like, oh, I didn't even have anything to do with it. What a small world. But you're doing my kid's school fundraiser. And I was like, oh, yeah. And then I'm like, who are you? I didn't recognize the name. Yeah. And then I guess because I did a show for her, she feels like we know each other or something. I did a show for her office. Anyway,
you probably met her. You don't remember.
I didn't even meet the guy that hired me to do the show. It was all virtual. You know what I mean?
I love how confused you are about it, though.
Because they wrote it like when
me.
An email starts off like, "Oh my God, what a small world!" You assume that you fucking know the person, or otherwise the world's not that small. It's huge. It's so huge. I've never even heard of you, lady. That's fucking. But anyway, I'm sure it was very nice. It was very kind of her to say those things, and that she was so happy that I was going to do this thing for her kid's school. But I was like, I don't. It happens to me often. Only in the last little while, something happened.
Listen, people people hang out. They're hanging out with us right now. They want to hang out, man. That's cool. They feel like they know. You fucking talk about your life and your family so much. I mean, it feels like they fucking live on the couch with you. Like, goddamn kids.
No, but don't get me wrong. I like it. It's just a new-ish phenomenon for me where for the first 10 years of my career, when somebody came up to me and were like, hey, Derek, I knew it was somebody that I knew. Mm-hmm. Only in the last little while that I guess my fame has hit a level that I wasn't even aware of. That people will come up to me, oh my God, Derek Seguin. And I'll be like, yeah, what's up? I have no fucking idea who you are. And they're like, no, I saw your HBO special last night on the fucking at the airport. Yeah. I'm like, oh, okay, so we don't know each other. And he's like, no, but you're great. And I'm like, oh, fuck, you're great. Thank you so much.
Yeah. You have an HBO special at the airport?
Yeah, exclusive. It's an exclusive airport HBO special.
I didn't know you had an HBO special on it.
It's a different HBO. This HBO stands for Airport
helicopter boarding helicopter boarding operation.
Airport board outlet.
Listen, buddy, I know you probably have to go to a Showtime taping soon. But did you see Amazon is going to space?
I did see that. They've been talking about that for like 6 or 7 months.
Amazon's going to space. What do you think of all this?
Excuse me.
What? Fuck you. It sounds like you're going to space, buddy. With that
lift off.
Yeah. What's your take on all this? What is it with everybody trying to get off this planet now? What the hell's going on? Everybody's going to space. We all got to use electric cars, but everybody's fucking burning rocket fuel. Well, we're the ones fucking up everything. I don't understand what's happening.
Well, that's it. Like, it's when you can buy that little thing, the carbon footprint offset credits. Elon Musk started Tesla to offset his carbon footprint for the rockets.
Well, what's fucking Bezos doing? What does he have to offset the footprint?
He's like fucking his first billionaire rival is going to space. Well, I'm going to space too. Fuck you.
Yeah. It's so interesting how everybody wants to go to space now. I think it's because they're looking for metals. They're looking for rare earth metals, man.
Could be. Well, Elon Musk has talked about that in podcasts before. He talked like that. There was one that shot by Earth years ago that if we would have gone up there, it literally had 3 times the amount of gold on that thing
They're
than
basically
we have on
like
the entire planet.
wow. They're basically like the modern day version of, and this is in no way to say they're good people, because like we learned about history, some of the explorers of this world were actually terrible. So they're not. It's not that they're good people for what they're doing, but I'm just saying they are like the modern day version of an explorer.
Yeah, totally.
They're rather than like leaving Spain and looking for spices, you're going to outer space to look for rare metals.
Yeah.
It's
so if you look
fucking
at a guy like
but it's polluting the shit out of everything.
Elon Musk, he's not only a modern day fucking Jacques Cartier or Magellan, but he's a modern day Ford. He's
like an adventurer. He's off to seek the fucking.
But also
space
he's revolutionized industry too. Like he.
Well, I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of people that are doing it behind him, and then his face gets put on the flag. But he's
that's like any one thing.
Yeah, but he is the visionary, I guess. He is the one who's funding it all. But yeah, it is wild that everyone's going to space. They're getting out of here.
To think, like, if you look at Jeff Bezos.
Yeah.
Jeff Bezos is just advancing stuff that already exists. He took basically what we used to call the Consumers Distributing or Sears catalog and fucking just made it function better. It's just,
it is the online version of the Sears catalog. That's
why Sears I don't get it. Clearly, they didn't change with the time.
Well, that's it. I don't get it. Why everyone was so shocked with it. Like, it's like Amazon is some new genius idea. But when it came out, it was basically that. It's just an online version of the Sears catalog. We're like,
when it came out, it was just a bookstore. Imagine, it was just books. The first manifestation of Amazon, all they sold was books.
Yeah, right? Imagine that. The Kindle.
And now people don't even buy books anymore. They download e-reader things and things.
Yeah, it's pretty, it's just changed so fast. I think it's the scary or weird thing about it. It's like how fast that it's going. Like, where the hell is it going to be in 20 years from now? I don't even want to know. What's going to happen? It's just crazy, man. How fast everything's moving and but then the pollution that you come out of all of that, I don't know. Did you? I saw a thing on the news about to jump gears here to go to real estate. There was a guy in Vancouver. This is how crazy the real estate market is, like insane. There was a guy in Vancouver or like somewhere in BC who had a vacation property, and the news story was that he was being sued by the realtor company because someone put a down payment on his cottage. A $70,000 down payment on his cottage, and then the day that they were supposed to sign the papers and take over and everything, they just didn't show up, and they just forfeited their down payment. They didn't care. I'm like, how crazy? Like, what are we living through? That somebody's just like, you just dumped $70,000 on a fucking cottage? Like, this isn't a mansion. Yeah. We're talking about a cottage, like on a lake. It's fucking just what every Canadian used to be able to afford. And now it's $70,000 a down payment, and it just disappeared. And they don't care. And now the realtor company is suing him because they didn't get any of he didn't give them a cut of the $70,000.
Oh right, they're 7% of $70,000.
And they're asking for they're suing him actually for the full $70,000 because it's what they would have made in commission on his house or his cottage or whatever.
Well, what the fuck? That's too bad.
But sad. I'm sure they're probably asking for more so that he could like negotiate and just say, okay, well, I'll give you a cut of what I would have made, like if we sold the house kind of thing. I mean, that seems fair. I mean, why wouldn't you have given them cut? When I saw that article, like the news story on it, I think it was a CBC piece. The news story on it was like, caught off guard. Be aware your real estate company can sue you for the failed down, like an abandoned down payment. Or I'm like, well, yeah. What kind of fucking greedy asshole are you? Like, give them a cut. You just got $70,000 for free, man. Give them a cut. Yeah. Like, what are you so worried about? That's a lot of money, man. Jeez. $70,000.
When he said, let's talk about the real estate market, I thought you were going to talk about it on a more general sense. That's a pretty specific fucking occurrence.
I just thought it was a funny, a crazy story. Like, because the way that I feel like now everyone is just in like hyper either own or buy or I got to have, or it just seems like people are more greedy. They're not as like, do you think $70,000 you wouldn't give them a fucking cut? I don't know. I guess I was trying to get us. Maybe there's something in there, Derek. We're trying to.
You would assume that they would take it though. Like if they're the ones handling the transaction.
Yeah, I don't know how it worked. Yeah, it just seems like an odd. But yeah, the real estate market is definitely insane. What are your thoughts on it? Is it still? How's Brossard? Is everything still popping up for sale, or are they all gone?
I find in Brossard, just out of curiosity, because I've been looking for cottages as we've spoken about moving out to the country.
And now
I spent 2 hours on it this morning, actually. 2 hours. I got up early for golf, and I was excited for golf, I guess. And I'm like, well, I got an hour to kill. I'll look at MLS in the few areas that I'm curious about owning a cottage. But I did, out of curiosity, check Brossard, and seriously, like within, excuse me, like within a mile in any direction around me, I was looking at prices, and I saw as low as like literally one street that way and down a little bit. The house is pretty old, but it's got some cool features to it. It was 460,000. Okay. Then one street, you know that little park here outside my house there, that little green space that's right there?
Yeah.
Beyond that, there's a street on the other side of that park.
Yeah.
So there was a house there, and it was 616,000.
Wow.
For the same number of bedrooms, same number of bathroom, and I'm like, okay, that kitchen looks more modern, but I couldn't figure out what the big.
Yeah, I think the prices are just all over the place.
There's a few places in Brassard that like people buy this shitty old rundown house and just fucking level it.
Yeah.
And build a fucking bigger monster like this. So there's 2 streets beyond where Angie's parents live. That and it's on a corner, busy street though. It's right across the street from the fire department. Excuse me, but it's 4 bedroom, 5 bathroom. It's one of those houses, you know, like really fancy, everyone's like square and the like 2 stories, but
it poop at the same time.
It looks like the would have 10-foot ceiling instead of 8 foot. Like they're really tall,
right?
With the garage and the basement. Anyway, 1.25 million.
Jesus Christ!
In a neighborhood where the average cost of a house is 550,000, I would say. So it's like,
it's like everything's just all over the place. Like everyone's just fucking asking whatever they want. Like, dude, everything. Like I've been looking at things, and everything you see, like even some things for like the camp or whatever. I'm looking at like canoes, and dude, they used to go for like 6, 7, 8, 1,000. You know, fucking easily. Now, man, I'm seeing them for like $300. Like it's like people are fucking. I don't know.
Costco was selling them for $300.
I don't know if people are like losing. Like either they're trying to sell everything off now, and like people are not biting as much. So it's like you still have the odd person like, yeah, I want to fucking put my house for $1 million, and then like the other people are like, well, I'll just ask like 500 because I think that's what I'll take. It seems like everyone's trying to be over greedy because everything's on fire. So they're just trying to ask for ridiculous amounts.
My buddy's smart like that. It's not a bad idea. Like if you pick a magic number, right, and you get it. Yeah. Like my buddy had his place up for sale. I remember like 5 years ago, he put his house up for sale. And at the time, I'm like, man, I love his house. I really love his house. He's got like 26,000 square feet. And like in back of his backyard, it's forest. It's forest. And the municipality has deemed it not buildable because the water table would not, because it's well water. They're all on well water in that whole neighborhood.
Yeah.
And the water table wouldn't be able to support another row of houses.
Right.
So it's been deemed, now it's just forest. So he has a forest in back of his house, 26,000 square feet. So his neighbors say they're there, but it's big enough. He added on to the thing. So anyway, like 5 years ago, 4 years ago maybe, he put his house for proprio direct there, like just list it. He just listed it, didn't hire anybody, just listed it for 600,000. And over the 4 year, he had like a few people come and see it and like, well, let me get back to you and stuff like that. And then nobody ever offered to buy it until like last year. Somebody offered to buy it, and he was like, "What the fuck? That's been 4 years. It's been there. 600,000 is enough." He's like, "No, sorry, I just forgot to change the price on the website. If you want to come see it, you're welcome to, but now it's 900,000." So now he's gone on to MLS and he's put it at 999,000, and it still didn't hire anybody. He's like, "That's the price it would take to get me to leave." You know, so if somebody offers me $1 million for it, I'll go. But no, I'm not in a rush or anything. But it's not a bad idea. I should. It costs nothing to put it up on MLS. I don't think, or maybe $25 a year if I put my house up, this one for 700,000, and somebody offers me 700,000, I would go, and I would fucking go straight to the country. You could be sure.
Try it, man. Why don't you try it? Let's do it live on the podcast. Let's watch you set it up.
$70,000 down payment. That's all. It'll get you in the door.
Yeah, that's it. It's 70.
Feel free to email me $70,000 and we'll talk about it.
Dude, how great would that be, man? Imagine someone drops an offer and then just walks away, doesn't even want your house after. I'll just take that down payment and fucking leave.
That happened to a friend of mine, my friend Mark. That happened to the guy was.
I never heard that ever, and it was pretty interesting. Yeah, that's crazy.
He was selling a house in Florida, and the guy was. The deal was he was going to lease it with the option to buy. So all the money that he was putting on renting would be applied. If he bought it, would go toward the purchase price. And so because the idea was to eventually buy it, he gave him a $50,000 down payment.
Wow.
And eventually something happened. I think something bottomed. I think it might have been back in like 2008. Maybe something bottomed out and the guy lost his shirt. So he couldn't pay the lease anymore, so he just moved out. So Mark got to keep all the payments and the $50,000 down payment that he had made.
That's pretty nice. Sweet deal.
But then when the bubble burst though in 2008, his house went from being worth $2.8 million to fucking $1 million.
Was that here or in the U.S. You said
Florida.
In Florida, right? Yeah, Florida. Yeah. Well, that's it.
In that intercoastal, where you could park your boat in your yard or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
In Florida, it's like almost like Florence or whatever. It's all like streets that are built on water.
What do they call them? Yeah. Waterways.
It's called the intercoastal over there.
Yes, I know what you're saying. On the east coast of Florida. Or on the west.
Yes, on the east coast of Florida.
On the east coast of Florida. Yeah. Interesting. So,
like between like Lauderdale and Miami, kind of.
Right. Yeah. Okay. I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah. There's. It's interesting to see what's going to happen there. I've been like keeping an eye out. Florida's pretty wild. Everything's still very expensive. Housing is selling like crazy because all the rich people are trying to get there because there's no income tax.
Yeah.
Because this is what's going to happen is they're going to have to find the money that they're spending everywhere, especially in the United States. So they're going to have to tax the rich. They're going to have to. They have no choice.
Well,
so
and Florida has just opened. Florida, like Texas, just opened everything up, right? Like they're not near herd immunity.
So that's another reason,
They're at like 4,500 cases a day right now, and they're still wide open. Like there's no more measures of any kind.
Yeah, they don't care. They don't care.
Shocking again. Fuck, apparently I read the Gazette a lot, but the front page of the Gazette this morning in India. Are you seeing what's happening in India?
Yeah, it's insane, man. Dude, I was
reading the numbers
before we even heard about it here in North America. Like it was
I was reading the numbers. I was like, what the fuck? That's a terrible month. No, that was one day.
Yeah.
416,000 new cases in one day, 4,000 deaths.
And those
in
are not
one day. In 24 hours.
There's way
4,000 deaths a day. That's fucking crazy.
There's way more. There's so many people that like live in the hillsides and villages and like out like there's no records of anything. Like my dad doesn't even had to. I think my dad had to like pay somebody to forge a birth certificate for him to like.
Oh yeah.
Otherwise, there's no paperwork. Like in the smaller areas in those countries like India and Pakistan, like there's nobody. It's Just now it's more better, but it is not so imagine, how many people are sick and dying and and it's wild. And there's a new variant. There's an even newer variant in India.
From India,
now.
That's what they're saying.
So it's pretty crazy. Like if there's a stronger variant than what they're getting hit with right now, it's fucking nuts. I just hope it does. They don't fucking come around the world. What's up?
Is Pakistan as overpopulated as India?
No.
No,
okay. I don't know. I mean, like the main cities are just like cities, I guess. Like there's a lot of people, but it's not like India. India is just there's so many people.
Fuck, 1.2 billion people.
That's
insane. So and when the masses get sick, especially the older people, like with that concentration of people, I mean, there's only there can't be any real estate left. So even if they wanted to build a brand new giant hospital, there's nowhere to fucking put it. Everything's hypotheque already.
Yeah, well,
so they immediately. This is 3 weeks ago when the wave started. They were already like like not even reaching half, fulfilling half the need for respirator and whatever the breathing aids. Now it must be fucking just people dying left, right. Oh man, it must be so sad. Fuck, it's such a terrible thing.
Yeah, man, it's gonna keep going. I think it's like that's the thing is if we don't like just accept or acknowledge. I mean, you have to get to zero. If you don't get to zero, it's just gonna keep like spreading. Man. I mean, because like look at the states. Like you're saying, Florida still has a ton of cases every day, and I mean, I think a lot of them are pretty vaccinated. I mean, obviously, I don't know what the
states have definitely done a good job of rolling out the vaccine.
Yeah, but now I think they're having a hard time getting people like to keep getting vaccinated. Like people are just easing up now, pretending that it's not. It's just gonna keep fucking snowballing, man. It's so nuts to see and watch.
I'm seeing numbers like even in Quebec that it's around 25% of people that are kind of like us that are not, not super gung-ho to get the vaccine. I thought it would have been much lower after the year and a half that we just went through.
I think so, but I think once they make it like you're gonna have it to travel or like get in a plane or stuff like to go to concerts or you know they'll. But again, I don't think any of those things are even gonna happen. Even with the vaccine, I'd be very surprised. Like outdoor concerts, yeah, but you'll probably have to be indoor would be like limited quantity and
like forevermore. You think?
For a while, man, until like the world can get the whole amount, like numbers of COVID down. Because the thing is, the more it keeps spreading, the more variants come up and more variants change. And then the vaccine is useless. And then what are you going to do? You have to revaccinate everybody with a new vaccine now.
Well, that's what they're saying already anyway. It's going to be like the yearly flu shot. It's going to be an updated COVID shot every year.
Yeah. So it's
But I can't fathom that this is going to go on for like beyond 2022. Like the most I can see is 2022, but then everything just goes back to normal.
all it takes is one fucking crazy variant to switch it up. Or nothing happens. But it's been happening, man. It's been happening. It keeps changing. And that's what's scary. Like, especially that new one in India that's like, they're already getting nailed and now there's a newer one. So it's crazy to think like, I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know. It's very interesting. I know we always say this on the podcast though.
That kind of,
let's come back to world crumbling because of COVID.
It kind of negates to my old vitamin D strategy or
listen, buddy, vitamin D is not going to save you. I don't think it's going to save people.
Because in my mind, everybody in India is fucking not homeless, but they're just outside fucking.
Yeah, they're outside a lot. Yeah, it doesn't.
Dirt.
And then that's the other thing too is like that they weren't getting it a lot at the starting because India is like their immune system is strong because of like all the things we were saying before.
They drink
a lot of
40% poop water every day.
There's a lot. The water's dangerous. So their immune systems are strong. So imagine like if this thing's fucking, it's gonna kill the shit out of North Americans, man. Like we're not nearly as strong as they are. So our immune systems. What is that?
Cigarette.
I can't see it. You're blending in. Cigarette?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you're blending in, buddy.
There you go.
Oh, there you go. Oh, look at that. You got a little humidor for your cigarette.
Yeah.
You're a very old-timey Frenchman.
My same buddy that I
That's
told you about that put his house
buddy.
up for $1 million. He gave me that as a present at some point.
Oh, wow. Did he whittle that out of wood from his yard, from his 26,000 square feet?
He owned a thrift shop for a while.
Oh, very interesting.
Well,
buddy, the thrift shop humidor. Are we going to pull it in? Are we bringing it in? Are we reeling this in? By the way, I was on the Debaters. We're not going to. This won't air. This will probably come out after it would have aired. But if you go on,
it's available at cbc.ca/debaters.
Yeah, you can go. Listen to my
catch the extended version.
The extended version of my newest debate on the Debaters against the hilarious David Pride. Derek Seguin will be on. What are you doing? Yours will probably be next week, the week after, sometime soon?
Some point over the next 3 to 5 weeks.
And you debated the amazing Ali Hassan.
Formidable Ali Hassan. Yes,
Ali Hassan from CBC
Laugh Out Loud.
And occasionally guest hosting on Q. Also coming out with a book. And what was the other thing? Oh, yeah. What is he? Canada Reads, the host of Canada Reads.
Yeah, that's right.
Alias
He's
Sam.
got it all going on. Look
He's
at him.
a good dude, yeah.
It was nice to catch up with him, too. After
Yeah.
our debate was finished, we got to hang out for 45 minutes or an hour.
Cool.
And it was nice. It's nice just to hang out with comedians. Like,
Yeah.
I was talking to a terrible tragedy last week. You don't play Yuck Yucks very much, but the manager of the Yuck Yucks in Toronto, Brandon, passed away last week. And the circumstances are still unclear. I don't know who to ask, and I don't want to ask and upset people more. It's like, what do you care? I don't know why I care, but he was 30 years old, and
Wow.
he passed away at the same time as his girlfriend, and so it just sounds so
Wow.
many bad thoughts go through your head of what could have happened. But this is a fun, like, seemed to be full of life guy, and he just passed away, and it's been really bothering me. I don't know why it's been really bothering me, but it's been, of course, well, I mean, he was a friend, but it wasn't like we were mega close friend, but every time I was there, he was lovely and just a wonderful guy, and young, and so sad, and I forget what the point of, but then, so I was talking to,
Yeah.
I was talking to my friend Jessica, who used to work at the head office at Yuck Yuck. She did all the booking for all the club across the country, but she started in the club. She worked at that club as a waitress and worked her way into the office and just was with Yuck Yucks forever. So she was very close with Brandon. And Brian, who Brandon's brother was the bartender. Like, it's a family business. It's a very close-knit, whole place. And I was just talking to her, and it was nice she's not a comedian, but just to talk to people from the comedy industry, like to just connect. And we were really connecting with each other and talking about remembering Brandon, and remember that time, and then this time, and then, oh, fuck that comic. And, just, it's like,
It felt good to shoot the shit
with people that,
in the industry.
You can remove all your filters. Like, it seems like everybody in society, including my children and my girlfriend, you have to speak to people in a certain way. When people in the comedy industry, it's hard to, for those of you not in our business, it's hard to describe it. But yeah, you can remove all filter, and it's less judgy if you want. There's still bitches and assholes and stuff in our business, but they'll bitch and judge you on, what you're wearing, or, like the same as regular bitchy people. When it comes to having a discussion or an intellectual conversation, or even not intellectual, a childish, just saying stupid shit, see who can say the most ridiculous, asinine, horrific, it's a disgusting thing. There's something about you can be, which was remember my mishap with Just for Laughs, if you remember.
Your mishap with Just for Laughs, yeah. I remember your mishap with Just for Laughs. I'm still not
the next morning, when I was finding people were telling me about it, I was ashamed, but at the same time, I was like, wait a minute, that was a room full of comedian. How could I have done anything that offended anybody? It was just comedians supposed to be there. And then, as we've discussed, we found out that not everyone was a comedian. There was people that work on the periphery of the comedy business that... Anyway, I don't even want to get into that. But anyway,
you don't want to get
really
into
nice
it? You don't want to talk about why you were... you don't want to talk about your Just for Laughs debacle? No? That's some spicy info. I think people
debacle, though, before we left the subject. Thanks for slipping that in.
Well, you said... Well, what did you call it? You called it my mishap, is what you called it. You called it a mishap. Sorry.
Yeah.
Let me retract debacle, and I will replace it with mishap.
Same as in the court shows when they withdraw I withdraw the question.
Your Honor,
the damage has been done. The damage is done.
You don't want to get into it? We should get into it one day. We should talk about your mishap Just for Laughs.
I want it to be forgotten. I don't even know why I brought it up.
Well, it's spicy material, and I think people who listen to podcasts enjoy this spicy tidbit of information. I still don't even know the real mishap.
That's the other thing, too.
I mean, I'd love to get somebody on the podcast that knows the real mishap. Maybe we should do that, and then we can all talk it out. That'd be great.
Yeah. I don't even know who that would be.
I don't know.
A few people I asked refused to tell me, saying that, I don't feel like getting legal on the phone. We already told you what happened. And I'm like, what? I don't remember. If you did tell me, I don't remember. And anyway, so whatever. That's so fucking in the past. I'm so glad. I don't want to get into it. Maybe one day in my retirement party, I'll bring it up. I still am hopeful that one day I could possibly do Just for Laugh again. It's just, it's in my city, and it's like...
Hey, man, now you're classifying it as a debacle by saying that. I just said, I retracted and
Say
and
debacle
clarified.
again, motherfucker. I'm going to fucking drive to your house and kick you in the head.
And said mishap.
I didn't say debacle.
Is that a
You said
threat?
debacle.
Oh, my God. Now,
Yeah.
wait till I talk
know
to
where
the
you
people
live.
at Just for Laugh.
I know where you live. You're lucky it's almost 9:30. Fuck. See, I can't
You're not
leave my
allowed
house.
out, bitch. That's funny.
Are you still at 8 or are you 9:30 over there?
I think everyone's at 9:30 now. I think we're at 9:30. We've got upgraded to 9:30. It's so ridiculous. Anyways.
Thank you, Daddy Legault, to tell me
Yeah.
I can go to bed at 9:30 now.
9:30.
It mustn't be a school night.
Well, buddy, this was fun.
Man.
Let's do it again.
Rest in peace, Brandon Batterman.
Yeah, it's a very sad story, and I hope his family finds some peace and everything. Yeah, that's terrible, but we shall prevail in the comedy world. We've lost before, and
I'm still more
Moved
optimistic
on.
than Abdul. I think there's going to be live shows by August.
live
Mark
shows
my
by
words.
August.
Possibly reduced capacity and mask and all that, but I think we're going to go back to where we were 3 months into the pandemic, where we can mask and social distance in the
Look,
bars.
I hope you're right, man. I hope you're right.
I hope so. Me too.
I hope so, man. All right, buddy. Well, let's do this again next time.
Yeah, man. Bacon No Bacon, brought to you by Comedy Here Often. See you next time, everybody.
Comedy. All right. Later, buddy.
Later.